Alright, we're back. Let's go see what else we got. Heavy box. Heavy boxes mean you got heavy stuff in them, or you got lots of good small stuff. Packaging good. Good packaging. Good packaging is always a good thing. Oh yeah, looks like another cylinder head or something. It's heavy, so it's cast iron. Probably a flathead cylinder, but I guess. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay. Oh, what's in that box? Knife needs to be sharpened again. Tearing works better than cutting when your knife's getting dull. One layer off. There's the bottom now. Oh, this one. Bonus prize. Good packaging, no broken things. Okay, this is a very rare cylinder. It's a 1 year only, and it's a special for that 1 year. It's a racing cylinder. So, this is for Harley 45 flathead, 1940 only, and special only. They made two variations of it, and this is the oddball variation. If you can call oddball of a 1 year only cylinder. So this is a racing cylinder. It's got offset valves in it, like a WR, which came out in 41, but this is a 1940. So it has the big port here. It's the size of a panhead. You know, it's a 45 cylinder, little small bore. 1939 WLDs had the 80-inch bore size hole in it, and your 36 and 7s had the 45s, which are little dinky ones. So this has the big panhead size. A WLD would be a standard valve location, which has both valves way out here, and this has the offset valves, which is the WR. So evidently, somewhere in 1940. They made a WR top end for a 40 bike before they came out with a WR. So, which cylinder is that? Is a rear cylinder. So rear ones are where? There's a rear one right here. It's a stupid one. What's that one? That's the rear. There's a rear one right here. Okay, so this is a standard cylinder for 1939. This came out in 1936. And they ran them all the way to the end in the basic design. So what you notice about it real quick is that this has the offset cylinder valve location. See the big gap right there? See there's no gap here. So that's higher compression plus a little bit better breathing. You can see that it's a lot more finning area on here. See how much material we have on finning all the way around versus this one. It's thicker, goes out further, bigger size. So there is everything's taller. So much taller the head cylinder is because of the fins. Everything about that's big. You can see the difference in port size. That's not 2 fingers, loose 2 fingers. So you can't get 1.5 in there. Your 80-inch flathead size is in between these two. So that'd be 1939 WLD. They had those. The DR motors, WLDs and WDRs. R back then meant racing. not rubber mount like it did in the 80s. So, and this has the racing style cutout here, which these do not, because they had more room for more rod clearance. So yeah, this is pretty rare cylinder. Another thing they did differently was they had a lot thicker exhaust spigot flange here. They still run the slip-in pipe, but a lot thicker all the way around. So that's a little bit different. Now, later on the case cylinder, they went to an external mount like a Sportster, but the race bike still ran the same spigot here, ran a slip-in pipe. So a little different. So anyway, that's how these are just totally different. So when you start seeing these U cuts in here, that's a racing part. When you start looking at the thickness of the fins, see the fin right here is the thickness of a thumb. Over here, it's the thickness of a pinky. See? So there's a lot more cooling area. You can see how much more area there is through here versus here. See, that goes to the first knuckle. This one here, it's way back here. So, but the height and all that's all the same. You know, it's just a matter of all this other stuff. This is done for racing, so it's for more cooling. It did make them a lot heavier though. But your WLD bikes and the DRs all ran these heavily finned cylinders. Your standard W, WLs, and WLAs use the thin ones, and trikes use thin cylinders. Okay, so what's the bore on this? It looks fairly thick, which is good. I think they were claiming this thing was new, but I don't believe that. We'll see. Nope, not even close. So 2.780, 2.498 is standard, 2 3/4 I mean. So it'd be 2.748, 49 is standard. So this is at 30 over, or 40 over, excuse me, 40. We're at 790. 50 is stock, so 5 to 9 is 4. Makes it 40 over. You can see how much thicker these are through here too for strength, so they don't, cylinders don't fall off. It's a lot thicker, all this material here. See, this doesn't have any kind of a cut. See, this is raised up for more material. So these are a lot heavier. You can run bigger bore on these things too because they're thicker. They never did it, but they can do it. So this is a 40 over cylinder, which is still not too bad. They like to crack real bad, especially through the intake port. This looks like it's running an oversized intake valve. Usually the valves are the same size on both. So this, even the WRs run the same on both, so this is an oversized. And when they go oversized, they get real thin in here and like to crack. This one looks good. This is probably the factory relieving. Stock bikes did not do any relieving. I'm not a big fan of relieving myself. Just lowers compression, but anyway, they are what they are. So anyway, this is a pretty rare cylinder. I've never seen one that was like that. So to me, this is a WR cylinder, but I don't know if they could trace the date code or something. Calling the 39. I guess they tried to interpret that casting number right there, and that's what told them it was a 39. I don't know. I mean, that's a 40, excuse me. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just another WR cylinder. That's what it looks like to me. I got a 1940 WLDR that I have standard valve location cylinders for. So, and if I want to go fast, I put the WR ones on it, but I have WR cylinders, so it's not a major issue for me either way. But anyway, supposedly that's a rear cylinder. Rare, I don't know. So if anybody wants to run those date codes right there and try to interpret what they mean. Like I said, I don't believe what people tell me on these things. So it's a 3 and a 7 and an upside down 7 there. So check it around the other direction. What do you get? Then that 7's right up and the other ones are upside down. So there you go. Doesn't mean shit. Alright, well there you go. Either that's just a standard old WR cylinder or it's a really rare 1940 special order offset valve. Your call on that one. To me, it's just another race bike part that I put in my collection of junk for whenever I want to go racing with real motors. These are what I like. It's just the best motor Harley made out here. That's what I like. Alright, that's it for that one.